Hi, it's Mark Coopersmith, and I am here with my friend and marketing guru, Liz Allen. Hi, Liz.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We are in the midst of a series of videos on moving from the 4 Ps of marketing into applying them in a go-to-market strategy, plan, and tactics. And in this particular video, I think we're going to focus on really providing an overview of what this framework looks like. Is that right, Liz?
That is, and let me share my screen. I'm actually going to start here. So what I want to talk about is a little bit of how we go to market and this planning process part. So we're now rolling up our sleeves and we're going to get busy and we're going to have a lot of fun doing this. I've developed a framework actually for Mark's class, and I think he can send you a version of this so you can work online or print it out or however you want to. But it's a nice way to break things down and keep yourself sort of disciplined as you go about it. In the next video, we'll probably talk about media and channels, and we'll go through these kind of things. And I have some planning tips that hopefully will help you out. But in this sense, here's a little bit about the framework. Here's what we're hoping to get in this framework. We want to target the customer in their life cycle stages. So we're not just trying to make it all happen all at once. We're going to be very specific as we go through this, again, to keep that discipline and keep ourselves on track. We're going to identify the channels with the greatest impact. So for instance, if we go to launch, we could go through 100 channels. We could go through a myriad of media tactics and channels, but we probably don't have the resources to do it. And not every one of those are going to give us a really great ROI. So we're going to try to be really focused and identify the ones that will give us the best impact in the market and for that customer.
Well, you just said it. I mean, you focused already on how important the customer is. We've done our customer discovery work. So for different customers, for different products, for different services, we're going to use different channels.
Exactly. We also need to develop, as you talk about the customer, we need to develop that messaging that is going to resonate with them, but also where they are in the journey. It's sort of like dating. You're not going to go on a date out for coffee and then ask somebody to get married. Probably. It's dinners and movies and race cars and whatever kind of hiking and all those great activities. You have to take them through that customer journey. So what you say at coffee is a probably very different conversation that you're going to have on the night that you are going to propose to your partner.
We've talked about basically bumping the customer along with the different messaging. And for those different bumps, you need different messages because they're at a different place in that buying cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the other two things I just want to sort of mention is really for us to consider what we need prior to launch. So sometimes it's like, hurry up and go and get this display or get this programmatic advertising out. Oh my gosh, we're driving people to a website and our website is not fully finished or something like that. And so really considering what you need to have in place before you go to market. I have established KPIs to measure results. I know we often call those
I like
milestones.
milestones, exactly.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm just coming off of like writing a board deck, so KPIs are important to me, but milestones are critically important. Like we've reached this, so you've met it and you're done, and you can reevaluate and assess. And lastly, I will probably say this 100 times: please prioritize your efforts. You have very limited resources, I'm guessing, so prioritizing your team, your financial resources, and making sure you're not spinning your wheels in 100 directions will bode well for you. So I want to talk about this framework. This is what I put together, as I mentioned. So you've got your positioning. I want you to make sure you're always talking about your customer. So wherever you are, you'll also hear that from me a lot. Make sure you have your customer in mind. And then the way I've sort of broken this out is really talking about what your objective is. This is a little bit of that life cycle stage. So this is just awareness, or it's trial, or wherever you are in the process. Then we're going to talk about channels. We're going to talk about the messaging we deliver, what we want to say at that particular time. Would you like to have dinner again? Or should we go get married? The tactics and how we're going to get to that place. And then I add this because I find too often we just fly ahead, but really let's anchor ourselves and put our feet on the ground. What are the logistics and considerations we need to take into account as we put these plans into place? And then let's just call those milestones for the moment.
Right. So there's a lot here. And this is introducing the framework. We're going to walk through each of these columns with some examples as we go. But I love the way that at the very top, you have us remind ourselves, Who's our customer and what's our positioning in the marketplace? Why are we different and better? Why will our customer buy us? And that ties to the value proposition as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, perfect. And with that, are we done with our video? Perfect. So with that, we'll wrap up this video. And when we come back, we are going to take a look at some of the channels that we'll be focusing on as we build out this framework.
Can't wait.